The HP Outdoors Waterfowl podcast is fueled by Eukanuba. If you want to get the most of your dog in your training sessions, you need nutrition that holds nothing back. Eukanuba's new premium performance lineup is built with the nutrients dogs need to help unleash their max potential. That starts with providing energy that matches their efforts, supporting optimal nutrient delivery, and supporting post-exercise recovery. Check out the new Eukanuba Premium Performance lineup and find your dog's fuel at eukanubasportingdogs.com. You are listening to the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. The HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast is powered by Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy. CGA is the world's most comprehensive online gun dog training resource. They've got over 160 instructional videos that includes everything you need to take your 7-week-old puppy to a finished gun dog. Visit cornerstonegundogacademy.com to sign up for the free preview module and begin your training journey today. Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy, the most advanced gun dog training resource on the web. Lucky Duck, about the only creature they can't deceive is you. Lucky Duck is more than a brand, it's a lifestyle built around the subtle art of critter deception. So while you're focused on the business end of your shotgun or rifle, know that they're completely focused on what matters most, you. So whether you're in a duck blind, dove field, on a predator stand, or chasing turkeys, they're confident that their products will help you succeed. Check out their full lineup at luckyduck.com and keep up with their latest news by following them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Soundgear is offering a 35% discount to the HP Outdoors listeners for their instant fit industrial and shooter products. You can head over to soundgearhearing.com and use the promo code HPO35 to claim your discount today. Lifetime Decoy's new Flex Float Mallard decoys set the new standard for quality and durability in waterfowl decoys. An EVA foam, open bottom construction combined with patent-pended dual flow swim keel system allows for more movement and less wind, the ability to sit flat on ice and dirt, and virtually indestructible design which can be shot or otherwise punctured and still float. Each decoy weighs only 11 ounces with the self-righting keel weights removed or 19 ounces with the weights installed. Check them out today at lifetimedecoys.com. Welcome back to the Foundations of Waterfowl Hunting course brought to you by HP Outdoors. This is Module 3, Lesson 8. We're talking duck dogs. I don't think there's any question that a duck dog is a great element that adds to any hunting experience. Anytime I've ever been in the field watching dogs work, it's always a great thing that enhances the waterfowl experience. So not only is it something that is fun to have, but it's also something is very nice to have in certain situations where recovering birds is challenging, and a retriever makes that a much, much easier and simpler task. So it's very, it's one of those things that when you have a dog in the field, there's a lot of responsibility that goes with that, not only by the person that owns the dog, but also everyone hunting in the party to ensure that the safety of that dog as they go out into the field is paramount, because obviously there's a lot of threat and danger to the dog with people shooting over top of it and all of that sort of thing. So there's a lot of more dynamic things happening in the field when you have a retriever dog with you. But I don't think there's any question that the value that they bring and the excitement that they bring is worth any sort of perceived inconvenience that might be.
I agree. And, one thing you mentioned was recovering wounded birds. And when you are hunting in, really ducky areas, you might have a lot of down timber or cornfields or anything like that. And I don't know how many birds my dog has found that I can guarantee I would not have. One being, I think 2 years ago was a beautiful black duck that is currently getting mounted, and I shot right at first light, and it dug in under a bank, and she put her nose to the ground, went over, found it, brought it back, and like Josh said, it adds to the hunting experience, but you need to ensure the safety of the dog. Be aware of the weather conditions and what is safe for the dog. There was a story a few years ago that we touched on, and people were loading a boat at the boat ramp, and there was ice, and they let the dog out, and the dog jumped in right after the boat had broken up some ice, and there was a sliver that went right into the chest of the dog, and the dog bled out right there. And that's just something that I can't even imagine happening. And you have to be aware of those conditions. Another thing is rough water. When you start putting dogs in big waves and they're getting out away from you and they can't hear you or see you, that's a very dangerous situation, because that, one, it's dangerous for the dog, but two, then you put yourself in the same situation if you have a canoe or kayak and you're trying to get the dog to come back to you. Another is extreme temperatures. We touched on the ice. And one other thing, a lot of guys hunt in the South and you get those hot temperatures. One thing people don't think about is that they think getting a dog in the water is a good thing. But if that's hot water after they've been running, then that is also going to be hurting your dog. You should have full command of the dog before putting them into a hunting situation. You should have practiced in those hunting situations before you get them out there, and make sure that they are comfortable. You might get a dog that isn't comfortable in a boat, and if you haven't practiced that and you're in a boat going to a spot at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m, you could have issues. You could have them jumping out of the boat, and then now you're looking for a dog in the middle of the night, and that's not good because they're swimming and you can't find them. There's various training techniques and resources available. If you've been listening to our show, obviously we're fans of Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy. They have an app that you can refer to when you're in the field training, and they just have everything from a puppy to a finished gun dog, and it's a very great resource. Protective equipment, you should always have a first aid kit, just the essentials, stuff to stop bleeding, big patches, eye wash, stuff like that. If you're putting them in water that there might be dangers underneath when they're jumping in, you should put a vest on. Also, it keeps them warmer. And then an e-collar, protective equipment, it can help bring them back or at least get their attention, but that's something that you're going to be training with all year round. So a few things there for you on duck dogs. Definitely add to the experience, but there are dangers to it. And we talked about blinds on the last lesson. If you are in layout blinds and you have a dog that's breaking, you're on the same level as them. Your shotgun's on the same level as their head. And if you have birds that are low to the ground, it's something you have to be very, very careful of. And there's been a video going around lately where guys were shooting right over the dog. I'm not sure that there aren't a couple BBs in the back end of that dog. So something to be aware of. And you have to make sure that your hunting party is also very aware of it.
Yep. And just another thing I'll echo is if you're looking to, train your own pup and get into that, Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy, our buddies over there, great product. Certainly think that that's something that any aspiring gun dog trainer could benefit from. So lots to consider with a dog, but there's many guys out there that don't think that, duck hunting should be done without a dog, and they'll always have one with them. So there's a lot to be said for that. And every experience I've had with a hunting dog in the field has been great. So don't be afraid of it. Don't shy away from it, but just ensure that you're aware of everything that goes along with it. That's it. Lesson 8, gun dogs in the books. That's going to do it for this episode of the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. If you're new to the show, head over to iTunes, check out some of our past episodes, and while you're there, leave us a 5-star rating and review. It's the best way for like-minded hunters just like you to find our show. Check us out on social media, check us out over at hpoutdoors.com, and anywhere you can find quality podcast content. That's going to do it for this week. Till next time, for Dan, I'm Josh. Take care.